Are they stunned by the cold finality with which you shattered their ego, severing ties without a second thought? As they rage and falter, how does it feel to stand unwavering, rooted in your power, while they're consumed by the very storm they unleashed? Their emotions seethe, a roiling storm that never settles. Inside them, there is a relentless surge of anger and resentment, churning like an unstoppable river that only grows wilder with each thought of you. Every moment they fixate on you, the flames of their bitterness flare higher, consuming any chance of calm. Their mind is a furnace, an inferno fueled by relentless envy and grudges, casting shadows across their days and coloring their every action with reckless disdain. This obsession with you is an abyss into which they willingly plunge again and again, unable to escape the relentless tide of negative emotions that you provoke within them. Yet in contrast to their turbulence, you remain as steady as stone, your peace untouched by the storm they've created. You are the silent mountain standing unyielding against the ferocious winds that howl around it, solid in your core and unshaken by their fury. They may throw daggers of hate, but they fall short, harmless against the shield of your equanimity. You are beyond their reach, far above their grasping need to pull you into the chaos swirling in their soul. You've seen the chaos they carry, and you refuse to let it touch you. It's not that you ignore it, you simply choose not to absorb it, not to let their flames scorch your tranquility. Their obsession is a poison they drink daily, expecting it to harm you, but you're untouchable in your peace. They might hope their simmering hatred will ignite a fire in you, but you are impervious, beyond the petty struggles that consume them. They want you to feel the bitterness they do, to descend into their realm of discord, but you stand firm in your own realm of calm. Their volatile emotions, so violently thrown in your direction, dissolve before they can even reach you, as if the air around you is too pure to carry their malice. So they continue, spiraling down, feeding the furnace of their own making, while you remain serene, untouched, a lighthouse in the storm they've whipped up. You hold steady because you understand a fundamental truth. They cannot touch you with their chaos. You are the calm eye of their storm, and that is your greatest power. You've removed yourself, erected walls that even the fiercest storms cannot breach. Your silence is a fortress, one that protects you and keeps them at bay, impenetrable and resolute. The bridges that once connected you have been burned to ash, and you stand far beyond the reach of their anger. Each attempt they make to get close is met with the cold finality of your absence. They try, desperately, to scale the walls you've built, but they are left grasping at shadows, their hands clutching only empty air where once there was connection. You've chosen peace over chaos, and in this silence, you have discovered a vast expanse of calm. Their words, their emotions, none of it can reach you now. Your boundaries are set in stone, and their frustration is a wave that crashes against the cliffs of your resolve, only to be shattered and drawn back into the depths. You know they are seething, thrashing against the reality that they no longer have a hold on you. But their frustration is powerless. It cannot penetrate the stillness you've cultivated within. You've severed the ties, and with each moment that passes, you grow more impervious to their attempts to claw their way back into your life. They are trapped in a cycle of resentment, shackled by their own inability to let go, while you remain untouched, elevated above their turmoil. Their desperate need for a reaction, any reaction, is met with the steady quiet of your absence. Your boundaries are like steel, tempered by the decision to prioritize your own well-being, and with each attempt they make to provoke you, they only encounter the echo of their own frustration. You've become a mirror that reflects nothing back to them, and this silence is their greatest torment. They rage against it, like a storm that flails against a mountain, knowing that no matter how violently they thrash, they cannot move you. In the stillness you've carved out, you find strength, and with each passing day, their presence fades, powerless against the distance you've created. The frustration that eats away at them is their burden to bear alone. You've risen above it, anchored in your own peace, while they remain stuck in the mire of their own making. Your boundaries are not just barriers, They are a declaration that you will not be drawn back into their chaos. You've claimed your space, and in that space they have no power over you. We interrupt their bruised egos to offer you a seat at the real table, the obsidian inner order. While they stew in the wreckage of their own frustration, bound by a cycle they can't break, you've already moved on. Their ego was the last chain holding you back, and the moment you cut them off, you leveled up. Now it's time to fortify your newfound freedom with knowledge, power, and alignment inside the inner order. With each uncensored video and exclusive insight only available to our members, we equip you with tools to stay 2 steps ahead of every energy vampire, manipulator, and narcissist trying to pull you back. You've already won the first battle. Now let us teach you how to own the battlefield. The Modern Manifestation Mechanics Grimoire awaits inside the inner order, giving you the keys to wielding charisma, manifesting your desires, and ascending to your highest self. Over 250 chosen ones are already in, healing, growing, and learning how to crush obstacles with the same precision you used to cut them off. The Star Chamber Discord server is filling fast with high-caliber warriors, so don't miss your chance to join us. Link to Patreon is in the description. This is your next step. Let them rage, let them stew. You have a universe to inherit. They've woven a facade, crafted with meticulous care, a mirage of loyalty and charm. Outwardly, they wear a mask of sincerity. Each smile a calculated deception, every word measured to ensnare. They parade their false virtues like banners, hoping to keep the truth concealed. They speak of loyalty, but their words are hollow, echoing with the hollowness of a person who knows nothing of the concept. They present themselves as trustworthy, yet beneath that polished exterior lurks a venomous core, twisting and turning with intentions as dark as shadows at dusk. They may present a friendly face, but it is a disguise, hiding the relentless scheming of someone intent on manipulation and deceit. You've pulled back the curtain, unveiling the truth they hope to keep buried. You've seen the fractures in their mask, the cracks where their true colors seep through like a toxin, staining everything it touches. You know now that their loyalty is a lie, a hollow promise wrapped in pleasant words. They speak of commitment while weaving webs of betrayal, each thread laced with their duplicity. You see through the facade, seeing them for what they truly are, a toxic presence, steeped in deception and driven by self-interest. Their manipulation is not subtle. It oozes from their actions, leaving a bitter trail of betrayal in their wake. But you stand resolute, refusing to be tainted by their poison. You recognize the game they play, each move as predictable as the rising tide. They think themselves clever, cloaked in a veil of falsehoods, but you have stripped away their mask, revealing the rot beneath. You will not allow their toxic influence to seep into your life, corroding the peace you've built. Their attempts to twist the truth have no power over you. You've seen the person behind the mask, and you have turned away from their hollow charades. They may try to cling to their illusions, painting themselves as something they're not. But the charade is over. You've seen through them, and you will not play their game. They may continue to deceive others, spinning lies to obscure their true nature, but you have already stepped beyond their reach. You are done with their deceit, their toxic games. You have claimed your space, free from the stain of their disloyalty, untouched by their attempts to draw you back into the shadows where they dwell. You are unshakable because you know the truth, and that truth has set you free. You carry a deep well of empathy, a force that flows through you like a river, nurturing all it touches. Your ability to understand, to feel, is both profound and powerful. A gift that allows you to connect with others in ways they might never fully comprehend. Yet, beneath this compassion lies a core of unyielding strength. You are not easily deceived. You read people like open books, and your intuition is as sharp as a blade, cutting through falsehoods with precision. You see beyond the masks they wear, perceiving the true nature of those who try to obscure their intentions. Your insight is a light that pierces through the fog of deception, leaving no room for their charades to survive. When you encounter duplicity, you recognize it instantly, and you make no apologies for enforcing your boundaries. Your kindness is not a weakness, It is backed by the firm resolve to protect your peace at all costs. You know that true empathy does not mean tolerating toxic behavior. It means recognizing when someone has overstepped and taking swift action to remove them from your space. Once they cross that line, there is no hesitation, no second guessing. You cut them off with the precision of a surgeon, severing ties and letting them fall away like dead branches from a tree. You protect your heart fiercely, knowing that your peace is sacred and deserves safeguarding from those who seek to disrupt it. You are not burdened by doubt. You do not cling to illusions about people's intentions. Instead, you confront reality head-on, accepting it with clarity and conviction. When someone reveals their true nature, when they betray the trust you've extended or try to manipulate your kindness, you act decisively. You are unafraid to let them go, to walk away and never look back. They may try to linger in the shadows, hoping to re-enter your life, but you've already shut the door. You are the gatekeeper of your own peace, and you will not allow anyone to diminish it. Your strength lies in your authenticity, in your willingness to embrace both empathy and the power of boundaries. You are unshakable because you are rooted in truth. While others may falter, lost in their own deceit, you remain steadfast. You've seen beyond the surface, and you choose unapologetically to protect yourself. You are both a nurturer and a warrior, unafraid to defend your peace with every ounce of the resilience that resides within you. They wrap themselves in a cloak of falsehoods, attempting to mask the darkness within. They craft illusions, wearing the guise of integrity and warmth, hoping to mimic the radiance you naturally exude. Yet despite their carefully constructed front, the truth seeps through like cracks in an ancient wall. They are a hollow echo of the qualities they pretend to possess, projecting an image that lacks any real substance. They fabricate virtues they do not own, trying to convince others, and perhaps even themselves, that they are something more than shadows. But their facade crumbles under the weight of your presence, as your authenticity starkly contrasts with their empty charade. You stand firm, rooted in who you are, with a heart that pulses with empathy, honesty, and an unwavering positivity that cannot be faked. Your light is not an act, not a mask you wear. It is the core of your being. Your empathy extends beyond mere words. It is a wellspring that nourishes those around you, a genuine force that cannot be feigned. You carry honesty like a banner, a quality that draws others in and earns their trust without effort. Where they scramble to construct a persona, you simply exist as you are, open, grounded, real. You are unapologetically yourself, and this authenticity is a force that exposes their pretense. They are threatened by the light you possess, for it casts shadows upon their deceit. Their bitterness and manipulation wilt under the warmth of your presence as they struggle to maintain their mask. Your positivity, a natural extension of your true self, clashes with their toxic energy, highlighting the stark difference between you. While you uplift and encourage, they linger in resentment, threatened by the very qualities they seek to imitate but cannot embody. Your genuineness is a mirror they fear to look into, for it reveals their own deficiencies, their own lack of substance. In the end, your authenticity burns away their falsehoods, exposing their hollow core. You do not have to raise your voice, nor do you need to tear them down. Your very existence challenges them, forcing them to confront the emptiness within. Your light is a testament to what they are not, a reminder that no matter how much they pretend, they cannot replicate the purity of your honesty or the strength of your empathy. You are whole, real, and unassailable, while they are nothing more than shadows, fading away under the brilliance of your truth. With the severance of that tie, the weight you carried has vanished, leaving you unburdened and unshackled. There is a lightness now that fills your days, as if you have shed a heavy cloak of storm clouds that once threatened to consume you. Your spirit has expanded, breathing freely in the newfound space they once occupied. No longer tethered to their toxic influence, you stand liberated, with clarity and peace flowing like fresh air through an open window. The grip they once held has loosened, and now you are free to move, to thrive, unimpeded by their shadow. Meanwhile, they recoil, their ego bruised and raw, struggling to comprehend a world in which they no longer hold sway over you. They are accustomed to control, to influence, to bending others to their will through manipulation and cunning. But you have shattered that illusion, cutting them off with a decisiveness that leaves no room for doubt. They find themselves floundering, unable to regain their footing in this new reality where their usual tools have failed. Their bitterness festers, an old wound torn open by the realization that they no longer possess the power to affect you. Their anger is a twisted thing, coiled around their insecurities as they grapple with a loss they cannot reverse. They had grown used to being needed, to being relevant, their presence lingering in others' lives like a specter. But you have banished them, and now they simmer in a cauldron of their own resentment, unable to fathom how you've moved forward without them. The sense of control they once wielded is gone, slipping through their fingers like sand, and they are left with only the emptiness of that loss. Their rage is impotent, a tempest confined to a bottle, rattling within but incapable of reaching you. You, however, have soared beyond their grasp, untethered and thriving in ways they could never have imagined. You found joy in the freedom, savoring the peace that now fills the spaces they once cluttered with chaos. You do not look back. Their anger cannot touch you. Their resentment cannot mar the tranquility you've claimed. They remain trapped in a prison of their own making, while you have flown far beyond, inhabiting a world where their influence no longer exists. The separation has become your strength, the severance a gift that has set you free, leaving them to stew in a bitterness that can no longer reach your heart. They entered your life cloaked in false charm, their true intentions lurking beneath a thin veneer of friendliness. Drawn to the radiance you naturally exude, they saw your light as both a fascination and a threat. From the start, they sought to control, to impose their will on you, hoping to cage the brilliance that made you who you are. Your positive energy, so vivid and alive, was a beacon to them, a flame they longed to smother. They thought themselves capable of dimming you, of casting shadows over the brightness you carry effortlessly. But beneath their surface pleasantries lay a darkness, a desire not to share in your glow, but to extinguish it. Their attempts to disrupt you were deliberate, an insidious effort to taint your clarity with confusion and doubt. They wished to siphon off your strength, to drain your vitality so that they might feel superior, feeding off the negativity they tried to sow within you. But their designs were met with an unanticipated resilience. You stood firm, refusing to bend to the weight of their malice. Each attempt they made to undermine you was met with your unwavering light, a strength they could neither comprehend nor penetrate. Your spirit, fierce and unyielding, became a mirror that reflected back the emptiness of their own motivations. Now they seethe, unable to accept their failure to sway you, their resentment festering like a wound that cannot heal. Their intentions were to break you, to manipulate you into a lesser version of yourself, but instead, they find themselves powerless, frustrated by the light they could not extinguish. They burn with envy, consumed by the realization that they could not change you, that their tactics had no effect on the solidity of your character. Their resentment is not born from your existence, but from the fact that you stood tall in the face of their attempts to diminish you, a fortress they could not breach. Your light remains undimmed, a constant reminder of their failure, a testament to your strength and authenticity. They are left to grapple with their own inadequacies, their hidden motivations now exposed as futile and hollow. You carry on, untouched by their bitterness, while they languish in the shadow of their own disappointment. Their attempts to harm you only underscored your resilience, proving that no matter how they tried, they could never steal what was yours to keep, a light they could not dim, and a strength that belongs solely to you. They live for the storm, craving chaos like others crave air. Drama is their lifeblood, fueling the cycles of negativity they perpetuate. They move through life like a tempest, stirring discord wherever they tread, unbothered by the wreckage they leave behind. To them, relationships are not bonds built on respect, but battlegrounds where they can exert control, creating confusion and disarray to keep others ensnared. They thrive on the upheaval they orchestrate, drawing satisfaction from the turmoil they provoke. With every encounter, They sow seeds of discord, cultivating a landscape of conflict that drains and consumes those around them. Now, though, the tables have turned. You've severed the connection, and without a willing participant, they're left to swirl in their own bitterness. Obsessed with what they can no longer touch, they're consumed by an unending need to focus on you, even from a distance. Unable to let go, they ruminate on their loss, trapped in a self-imposed prison of resentment. They fixate on you, their thoughts a relentless loop of what they can no longer influence. Without the ability to manipulate or provoke you, their energy has turned inward, festering like a wound that refuses to heal. The bitterness they once tried to impose upon you now corrodes their own spirit, feeding on itself in a cycle they cannot break. You, however, have chosen a different path. You have stepped away from the storm, recognizing the futility of engaging with their toxic patterns. You saw the chaos for what it was and decided to protect the sanctuary of your peace. Your decision to distance yourself was an act of preservation, a declaration that their drama has no place in your life. Now, where once there was tension, there is tranquility. You have reclaimed your space, filling it with calm and purpose, leaving no room for the disarray they sought to bring. They may continue to obsess, but it is futile. They can no longer reach you. Their bitterness has become their own burden to bear, a weight that grows heavier with each passing day. You remain untroubled, far from their grasp, beyond the reach of their chaos. By stepping away, you have deprived them of the fuel they once took from your reactions, leaving them to sputter in the emptiness of their own making. You have chosen peace over pandemonium, clarity over confusion, and in doing so, you have freed yourself from their web of toxicity. The storm may still rage, but it does so without you, powerless and alone in the wake of your departure. You are the guardian of your own energy, the one who stands at the threshold of your peace and decides who may enter. You've seen the depths of their negativity, their lingering obsession, and yet you remain unshaken. Their shadows cannot penetrate the light you've reclaimed. By fortifying your boundaries, you've not only taken back your power, but also ensured that their toxicity cannot infiltrate your world again. This strength, this clarity, belongs to you alone. It is the armor that shields you from their chaos, an unbreakable barrier that they cannot breach. In choosing to protect your peace, you have declared your worth. Your decision to distance yourself from their influence is a testament to the value you place on your own well-being. You no longer have to bear the weight of their drama, nor are you tethered to their cycles of resentment and turmoil. You are free, standing tall in the sanctuary you've built, where only those who respect and uplift you are allowed to remain. You've demonstrated resilience, moving beyond their reach, and in doing so, you've set a standard that you will not compromise. Stay true to this path, honoring the wisdom and strength that have brought you here. Let their influence remain a distant memory, powerless and diminished. You are in a better place now, where your light is undimmed and your spirit is unburdened. This is your space to thrive, untouched by their shadows, where you continue to grow and flourish. Share your story with those who may need to hear it. Your strength can empower others to break free from toxic influences, to reclaim their peace, and to stand firm in their own truth.